Hi, I'm Dr. Renee Walters, and I am with the School of Nursing. And I got into teaching. Often it's actually just I am actually a nurse practitioner by training, and there is a strong affiliation to trying to support our future nurses and nurse practitioners. And it was just part of my training and encouragement that I do that. So it kind of that seed was planted early on, and I decided that at this stage of my career, it would be a good time to try to cultivate and grow other nurse practitioners and nursing students. Yeah.
And I'm Jason Blomquist, a professor in the School of Nursing. I got into teaching, backing up, working in healthcare. I got into healthcare leadership and administration because I really loved the ability to empower other folks and work with them to develop themselves and grow. And I found myself getting pretty disillusioned as I moved into kind of the middle management ranks about not having the time and ability to really do that. And higher education made it seem like a much better place where I can really focus on those core values of helping people find themselves and grow within their profession. We are sharing the approach. We co-teach, actually, we would say we team teach rather than co-teach a 400 level, senior level class in our nursing department about leadership and management. And we really have focused on developing a course that not only touches on all of the various skills that are required to be a leader and manager. We believe that every nurse is a leader in their own right. We want to develop a course that helps that learner have the flexibility to explore the various avenues of leadership and really focus on what motivates them and what interests them. And also with that being the objective of how do we develop professional skills within them about being accountable for their own learning and accountable for their professional development.
So what we decided when we looked into this course is that we really wanted to find alignment between the learning objectives of the course and how the course was executed and what we expected out of our students. And individual accountability is a key component of any leadership construct.
So what this looks like in reality through the syllabus and week to week in the course is we've broken down the concept of leadership into 4 tracks. We think about the leadership of self, the leadership of team, leadership within the profession, and the scholarship of leadership. Within each of those 4 tracks, there are numerous assignments that meet the objectives, and within each track, there are a certain number that are required that make sure that we're hitting a minimum level of understanding within those. And then there's a vast majority of the assignments across the course that are elective assignments. So the student can pick and choose which of those tracks maybe is more attractive to them, or is there a particular type of assignment that's more attractive to them, and they can determine their own course through that second half. And so we offer significantly more points if you did all the assignments than are required for the grading scale. So the student, in essence, from a professional development point of view, can pick how they want to approach that course. Do they want to do the bare minimum and graduate, or do they want to really go above and beyond and earn whatever grade it is they want?
And so part of that is following the same track of the concept of leadership is that we have each student spend time in self-assessment and self-reflection. And then they have to make a determination of what type of student do they wish to be in this course. And then they utilize a plan to, one, identify which track is most meaningful for them, and then set their course. That this is how I identify as a student, how I want to live out and show the type of student that I am. And then we give them a framework where they're able to build that out, and they can choose what is their level of success. Is success to them being a student that can achieve a 75%? Is actually for them, success means actually achieving an 85%. Or for some of our students, success for them is 100% or nothing. And so we've tried to create it where it's safe for you to be, and you're accepted and welcomed, and you will grow and learn at whatever level of achievement is what matters to you as you see yourself as a student. So I think our inspiration is both of us in our previous careers before coming to the academic setting had worked in formal administrative roles. And we had this chance to develop and nurture our individual nursing professionals that we were working with. And so we have some of this philosophy and mindset about what it truly means to be a nurse and then to live leadership through the role of nurse. And so we thought, I think Professor Blomquist actually went to a wonderful CTL course and had learned a little bit about gamification. And one of our things that we commit to as team teaching is that we have a planning session every week to discuss the course, our objectives, where we're at. And he brought back the material that he learned. And through that discussion, we just started brainstorming and thought, we can absolutely transform the learning so that everything that we do, there's intention behind it, so that we're cultivating truly an experience for the student that allows them to grow in a very meaningful way. And so I think that's where our inspiration came from.
Yeah, with that, very well said. Just another plug for the great programming the Center for Teaching and Learning does. As a new educator, I hungrily take as many of those courses as I can. And we also, part of this is because we come at this from a quality improvement point of view, and it's okay to fail, right? Like I'll come back and have this great idea and we'll try it and it either works and we keep moving with it or it fails and then we meet. So as Dr. Walters has said, even though we've taught this course together for almost 2 years now, we still meet every week to go through those planning sessions and to reevaluate and to keep evolving.
Yeah, so I think actually the feedback we've gotten so far from our students, and we get the benefit of seeing our graduates often in the community because both of us are current clinicians as well. And so we see them actually out in their practices and we often get feedback that they were able to experience the learning because they understood why it mattered and how it would apply to their practice. And so I think when you allow students the safety to really accept where they're at and what matters to them, then they're able to fully invest in the learning that's occurring.
I think in addition to that, even within the course itself, being positioned as one of the final courses in the school nursing, I think we are authentic in wanting to treat them as professionals and adult learners. And I think that comes through in the way that course is designed. And we hold them accountable to being individual authentic learners in there as well. I don't know exactly how to describe it yet. I haven't put the words to it, but I feel that comes through where they truly do feel like this is a learning collaboration more than a traditional teacher-student conflict, if you will.
Yeah, we do. And I think part of it is because we do talk about empower and how do you actually develop your own individual power as a student and then transitioning into, there's a transition to practice where you're taking that identity. And so we attempt to very much articulate that this is your opportunity, you're forming that professional image, and we want to be a part of that. And we welcome them often. I think we use the term, we can't wait till you're your colleagues. We're looking forward to working with you. And so I think that's one of the benefits that we have that helps actually leverage this as well. Yeah, so I think part of it is always embracing a continuous quality improvement mindset, that it's okay to not be good at something or to make a mistake, and just to have the humility, being open and vulnerable to your students that you believe that this is going to help their learning, but you're trialing this and you want to get their feedback and creating a safe framework for them to give you feedback so that you can also grow and let them know that that's your intent. So I think being very transparent with the intent and that you have a mindset of quality improvement, I think is a great starting point, or at least that's been my experience.
I think 2 things I would add is, one is really understanding your objectives and what you want them to get out of the course. I know objectives and scaffolding and everything is something CTL preaches day in and day out, but I think this is also even taking it to that next level of I've got all that figured out and I know what the objectives are. Then if I know it well enough, I can start playing with how do I make parts of that what are the parts we have to do, and what are the parts then that we can add elective pieces onto to engage people in different areas. That also means letting go of some of the objectives, right? If I know that somebody can meet the core, but then I really like objective C, but they want to do objective A, I need to be okay with that as
Great.
well. And then the second piece would be really finding a collaborative partner, whether it's a formal co-teaching or team teaching partner that's willing to do that, or whether that's an outside coach, because we spend so much time just bouncing ideas off each other or reflecting back on that didn't quite get where we want, even down to how do we figure out what point values are worth different things. Like having somebody to talk through it has been incredibly valuable.
Yeah, I don't know how many times we go back and forth and say, okay, what is our why? You know, why are we doing this? Is this really hitting the why? I think that is a common theme that happens when we're looking through some of the pieces of the course.